One of the main goals for Q5 is to create a diverse and inclusive working environment. So that obviously materializes in many ways, but accessibility is a key part of that. We prioritize creating a workplace where people feel comfortable to share their accessibility needs, but also making sure that we proactively action on those. So whether that's preempting those accessibility needs or actioning it very quickly once they've become known to us. If other organisations like ours or our clients were looking to kickstart their accessibility journey, I think first port of call is always research. And that's not just searching online and looking for tools. I would say you have to go out and speak to users and customers and understand what they need from the service rather than actioning what you think they might need. Because when you put a user or a customer at the heart of your design, your outputs, your organization is going to benefit from it a great deal. There are a huge amount of reasons why we need to create an inclusive culture. One is that if people feel like they can be themselves at work and they feel psychologically safe and authentic, then the outputs and the type of work naturally will improve, and people will also feel like they have the ability to challenge and speak up for themselves when they feel the time is right, which is so important, especially when you're creating content and deliverables for clients, because it's more likely that we'll get so much better thought leadership and outputs as a result. And then the other part of that is talent, both from an attraction and retention perspective. So if you've got an inclusive culture where everybody feels like they can be themselves and are respected at work, they're A, more likely to stay, and B, that could then attract new talent, because it's becoming more and more prevalent that top talent are not just looking at the pay slip anymore. They're thinking about what are the other requirements that we want from work. So having a diverse and inclusive culture is going to form a huge part of that for us in the future. I would say you need a bottom-up and a top-down approach. So working bottom-up, I would recommend creating a working group of self-selecting, passionate people where they really want to engage outside of their usual day job in building an inclusive workplace, leading that, speaking to people on the ground and understanding what the types of things that an inclusive workplace would do or can do. And then top down, I think it's also really important to have a senior sponsor who has that influence and that ability to make decisions and drive change in an organisation wherever that's needed as well. So I think they go hand in hand. What I would say to any organisation that's thinking about working on this piece is there's not a one size fits all approach, and you can't be afraid to just try something, and if it doesn't stick, then just move on to the next piece, because every organisation is different. A whole host of people access our website, and it's most likely going to be clients. So we need to signal from the start of the customer journey, of our customer journey, that digital accessibility and inclusivity is a priority for us. Diversity and inclusion as a broad banner is really important for us, and we need to make sure that A, accessibility for all potential future clients is covered, because you never know where that might lead, but B, I think it shows that we're not only trying to improve on our culture and inclusivity internally, but also start to then spread that out and think about what that might look like more broadly across the piece.
Recite Me, believing in accessibility for all.